Welcome back. With some of the nice weather we've got, I'm going to go ahead and get the side dresser and the drive unit put on this 1973 Farmall 140. The side dresser was an attachment that was provided for these tractors for basically after your crop came up, you could drive down the rows and inject fertilizer, primarily nitrogen, along the side of the crop, and then that would boost production or boost yield during the growing season. And then you'd see these mostly used on corn or tobacco. I haven't really seen it used on anything else, but I guess they could be. But corn and tobacco are the two things that come to mind right off the top of my head. Now this tractor here never had the corks pulled out back here on these holes where the mounting pad is, on the rear mounting pad. So I got to take a knife and cut those corks out and then put the bolts in. But I've also kind of been looking at this, and I think with the fertilizer injector on here, I'm going to go ahead and change the oil first, because the filter's back here and the fertilizer can's going to be over here. So it'll just make it a lot easier on me. It has to be changed anyway, so let's go ahead and take this off. And this tractor was one of the last models of the 140 to come out, so it does have a spin-on filter. So I'm going to go grab one of those off the shelf, and we'll get the oil draining while we pull a couple things off here to make room for the tractor. So stick around. And so this is a Case IH filter. You can get at your friendly Case IH dealer, which is replacement OEM for this tractor. And yeah, you can get the knockoff brands in different places, but hey, why not get the thing that came on it and put it back on? Now, I've seen a lot of arguments, a lot of heated discussions about what type of oil to put in these tractors. My best recommendation is whatever the latest copy of the owner's manual of that tractor recommended is what you should put in it. Now, people will say they put multi-viscosity oils in these tractors and they run them and they're fine. You can do what you want, but the manual specifically states that do not run multi-viscosity oils in this tractor above 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, you can put it in this time of year if you're plowing snow with it or whatever, but once the weather starts warming up, you want to change that oil back to a straight 30 weight. Straight 30 weight is a little bit heavier, and it doesn't lubricate quite as well this time of year, so it does make sense to go with a multi-grade. But one thing to remember with these engines, when you put the multi-grade in, they do tend to use a little bit of oil. There's nothing wrong with the machine, it's just that's how it is. So this is just straight 30 weight Rotella engine oil, and you can get the low ash from Case IH. And why didn't I get it when I was there? I didn't need it then, I wasn't thinking, so this is what I got. It'll be just fine. One other thing I got to do is I got to pull this little lever off right here, and this is for picking up and lowering a sickle bar mower. I'm not going to use it on this tractor, so I need to take it off to make room for the device that's going on here. So this was put on hand tight, and fortunately I can get it off without a wrench. May not always be the case, but you don't want to wrench. You sure don't want to wrench these things on there, because then you'll never get them off. So this filter is probably still good, but we're going to go ahead and replace that. This right here is your fill over here, so it's a little bit different than the Super C, the Super A's, etc. that just had a hole in the top. This one is actually built into the side of the tractor, and it goes right through the distributor and the governor down here, so that's where your fill is going to go. And this right here is your level gauge here, so we're going to be using both of those things. It makes it a little bit easier, I think, if you pull it out just a little bit, the level gauge, it lets it breathe a little bit better. So I've got both of those open. The filter off. Right here is how you drain the filter tray, where the filter goes on. There's a little pipe nut there, so you want to take that off. Just make sure when you take it off, you put it someplace where you're not going to lose it afterwards. It's just the standard pipe plug, so it's not like you can't get another one, but it'll for sure knock you out of business for a little bit. One thing about these is you want to make them snug, but you don't want to over tighten it. It's just tin, and you can really cause some damage if you start cranking on things. So I say snug it and run it and then if it leaks a little bit, you can deal with it, but for sure don't crank down on these. There's some dirty oil. As I mentioned previously, this lever right here is what raises and lowers your sickle mower, but it's going to be in the way, so we're going to take that off. Now, this has been off since this tractor's been bought. One thing you have to be careful of with these levers is if you have a fast hitch, there's a rod that levels the front to back on the fast hitch, and that rod comes up here and attaches to this. This will get in the way, and then you'll end up bending the rod, just for reference. This right here is an actual IH part. It looks like something somebody fabricated, but it's really something IH made, and it's specific to the A22 mower. A lot of people just call it the 22 mower, which is just as fine. The Cub 22, L22, they don't have this piece on there. So this is specific to this model tractor. It's not supposed to have the shim, and I think this rock shaft has been welded. This tractor came with extra rock shafts, and the guy that had it was the grandson of the original owner. So he had like a fire sale when the old man passed away, and I know he mowed beside the road up by the VA clinic up in Togus, and it had a 6-foot sickle bar mower on it, which is kind of long, and if you're familiar with the 22 mower, they don't have any give in it, so if you hit an obstruction, this is the end right here that takes all the beating. It's not like the rear mount mowers that have the breakaway. So that's one drawback of the side mount mowers, is you gotta be real careful. If you hit something with it, there's no give, you end up breaking something back here, and I'm sure he broke the rock shaft and who knows what else. So I've got extra parts and pieces, and then the part of the mower that goes up front, that was broken, and you had that repaired. So anyway, I digress. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and get these. The 140 has a C123 engine, and so it uses about 2.5 quarts more than a Cub does. So 5.5 with a spin-on filter, and what I usually do is get it pretty close and then check it a couple times, and when you start it up, you're going to fill the filter, so it's going to adjust how much is in the crankcase. So I get it pretty much where I want it. Start it, run it for a second, make sure the gauge goes where it's supposed to go. It may be a little low because you may have to add a little bit more oil in it, but I'd rather be a little bit low and add than be over and try to get some out. So it's cold out. I'm going to let that sit for a while. I think I'm pretty close. Alright, I'd say the best thing to do at this point is I'll start it up and bring it out, and then I'll check the level again, which is right there. It's going to take some oil to put in the filter, so it's not going to be under pressure for a second, which I guess they frown upon that now, and they want you to put a little bit of oil in the filter before you stick it in, but if you're putting it on upside down to start with, it doesn't work out very well, but I guess with the lawn and garden tractors that go in sideways, you can get away with it. So like I mentioned before, it's a lot easier to come back and add a little bit in later than it is to try to get some out. And so it's full on this side of the line. There's about an inch done right there, so I do need to add a little bit more. Anyway, that's it. Pretty straightforward. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.